All right, what the hell's going on, dude? I don't know where I'm gonna, I guess just sit over here. I got all this shit on my desk now, so I don't really know. Oh, maybe we could just do this. Yeah, that's fine. That'll work for today. This is kind of just another a little halfy. Just something on the old brain. I was gonna bring it up in the last one, but I was gonna talk about it all serious, and it's like, now that I've been thinking about it, it's more funny than serious. All right, so obviously everybody thinks that people in the gym are staring at them. That's like the whole thing, is that it's like, oh, I feel like everyone's looking at me. But I do really feel like everybody is staring at me. And I've gotten like some weird texts from staff there that get my number from the system. And, you know, it could be me misreading it or reading too much into it, but they are kind of odd. And I just feel like the staff is just always fucking eyeballing me. But who gives a fuck at the end of the day? And, like, I'm a pretty friendly guy. I'm pretty just hanging out, you know what I mean? I just go there to go to the gym. And I've been working out there for, like, a year, and nobody from the staff has ever spoken to me. And, you know, I exchange the occasional, like, dude, what's going on, man? You look fucking huge. You know what I mean? And they're always just like, thanks. And they just brush past me. It's like, God damn, dude. I'm, like, just saying, hey, that's it. I don't know, weird. But nobody's ever like actually come and said anything to me. And then like 2 months ago, I was on this hammer strength, and one of the workers came up and like started using the thing, and we're just shooting the shit, and I'm like just talking to him about yada yada yada, and then I move on with my day, and then I see him a couple days later, and I start shooting the shit with him again, and we have a pretty normal interaction. And then after that, people started interacting with me a little bit more. But there's just this weird thing when I talk to I'm specifically talking about the staff. They see me like every fucking day. They see me like every single day. So somebody accidentally signed me up for like a one-on-one, let's talk about your goals meeting when I bought a t-shirt, I guess. They said that the button is close together, so they made it a oopsie. Whatever. So when I went in there, I was like, yo, like they called me and said, hey, it was some chick. She was like, hey, do you want to schedule this? I see that you purchased it, but you haven't scheduled it. Do you want to schedule this? And I was like, yeah, I just bought a t-shirt. I don't know how that's possible. If I was charged twice, I'll just take another t-shirt, but I don't need the meeting. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm sure. She's like, are you really sure? It's a pretty good deal. And I'm like, I'm good. Whatever. And then the next time I went in there, I was like, hey, can I talk to somebody about this thing? And then it was a different chick, I think. And she's like, no, your account's good. It was just a mistake, but you can still have the meeting if you want to schedule it, to do it. And I'm like, nah, I'm okay. She's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, I am sure. And it went on like that. And then she's asking me like if I've ever thought about being a trainer and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, nah, I just do my own stuff. I'm not interested. And I've worked in sales before, and it's just not something that I would want to do. And she's like, okay, well, what do you do now? Yada, yada. The weird thing, though, is that the whole time she's like laser beam staring into me like a fucking stare down, dude. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, are we fucking chatting here, or are we gonna fight? You know what I mean? It's just odd, but I just brushed it off. And then there's another dude in there that I see hanging out with the staff all the time, but he doesn't work there. Pretty jacked guy, and he asks me to spot him on these curls, and then we start talking, and it's the same thing. He's just like staring me down while he's talking to me, and guys like ripping through questions. He's like, oh, I saw you, because I live like right across the street from the gym, and sometimes I walk over there. He's like, I saw you, was that you walking? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you always walk? And I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, usually I drive. And he's like, okay. And he's like, you live over there? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you got a roommate? And I'm like, yeah. And I don't want to talk about my personal business with some fucking random dude that I just met. Not that I'm secretive, but like, why are you asking me all those questions? Whatever. Maybe I'm being weird. But then he's like, hey, what do you think of that girl over there? And it's just some like random chick who looked like 16 years old. And cute, I guess, but whatever. And he's like, she's pretty cute, right? I'm like, yep. He's like, you got a girlfriend? I don't know if you got a girlfriend or not, but she's pretty cute. And I'm like, all right. And just brushing past it, because again, like, why are you asking me all these fucking questions? Just odd. But the whole time, he's like beaming into me, and every time I've interacted with him since, it's that same thing. But now keep her moving. But that's how it's been. Like, every time I have even the briefest conversations with people, they're like so either awkward or like really looking at me. I don't know what the fuck is going on, dude. I don't know what's going on, but it's weird. And obviously the big question here is, am I just tweaking? Am I causing these interactions? Am I misreading these totally normal interactions because I'm like a hermit or something like that? Or like, are these people actually fucking wilding out over here? I have no idea. I really have no idea. But it's something I wanted to log on here so that if I ever do find the reason why or have greater intuitions as to what the hell is happening, I can be like, oh yeah, and dismiss that. And then also, by the time this comes out, there should be a vlog where I talk about a day where my tire blows out and then all these fucking Latinos come over and change my tire. And in the video I was like, it's so cool, it's so crazy that these guys just came out and helped me. Well, it's actually evolved. My opinion has evolved, and it's actually like, fuck those guys, dude. Like, I've changed a tire dozens of times and seen tires changed dozens of times, and I've never in my life, on vehicles even older than mine, seen a lug screw sheared off like that, just ripped right the fuck off, and then another one completely destroyed. At first it was just like, oh, I guess something was wrong with the car, but now it's like, okay, those guys obviously saw me and thought that I was a fucking moron, and they were like, oh, let's go help this poor loser who doesn't know shit, and just decided to start doing it. And then instead of waiting for the heat expanded bolts to cool down before wrenching on shit, they just went ahead and started doing it, and then just completely fucked my shit up, turning a simple tire change into now I have to have a guy come out and fix the lug screws, and then I also have to go pay for the tire. So it turned a very simple exchange into a very expensive exchange, or at least more expensive than it would have been. So fuck those fucking clowns. While I appreciate the gesture, I don't think that it came from a good place, and they caused me way more trouble than before. And the moral of that story is, it doesn't matter if you speak the same language or not. If somebody tries to touch your shit, just tell them to fuck off. Just, hey, thanks, but no thanks. I'm good every single time. Because 90% of the time, I know what to do and have intuition on how to fix problems greater than everybody else. And whenever I try and fix a problem, I usually end up either fixing the problem or finding a very efficient way to get the problem fixed elsewhere. And whenever somebody else tries to fix a problem for me, it just ends up fucking my whole day up. So that's the moral of the story. Don't let people touch your shit. Sometimes people at the gym are actually staring at you, or maybe not, TBD. But that's it. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Later.